Oh my god. Oh my god.
Listen, something that I find highly amusing is the three guys who came up together in the Warzone scene all seem to have the exact same aim. They all seem to have the exact same play style. And no, I'm not talking about the fact that maybe they scrimmed or maybe they practiced together and taught each other their little, well, they probably did actually teach each other their little secrets. We're going to be taking a look today at Tctekk, a guy who come up the ranks with Capture and Nickstar. This is somebody who has that unnatural aim whilst playing in the resurgence modes. It's somebody who also has them very weird callouts or tracking through walls, and we're going to be taking a close look at that today. So, let's crack on with the video.
No way this guy's hitting the ladder to come down. Honestly.
Está arriba, está arriba, está arriba, está arriba.
This guy's just jumped out. Beautiful.
Enemy soldier incoming.
Wait, what? Where are these guys? God, I saw him actually.
So, as you can tell, just by looking at those moments there, it is very similar to the way Capture shoots. It's very similar to the way Nickstar shoots, but it is in no way, shape or form similar to the way the majority of the player base shoot. Because, well, they're all up to no good. And if you're still not sure about this, let's take a look at the unnatural mechanics happening in slowed down versions of those clips.
No one is just hitting the ladder to come down. Oh. Honestly. Bang. This guy just jumped out. Beautiful. Wait, what were these guys?
God, I saw him actually.
As I said earlier, these guys all seem to possess the exact same pattern within their shooting, and it's not natural built-in aim assist, because if it was, we would all have that same pattern, and we don't. These guys are using something to enhance their aim, and it isn't something that's enhancing aim assist within the game. It is definitely a downloadable third-party software known as, wait for it, aimbot, right? And as I mentioned at the start, there is something within this gameplay that also indicates that Tctekk is using wall hacks. Let's get into that now.
I think they're gonna be right in here. I just chased one guy around for my entire advanced. Tragic, actually.
So these three clips of wall hacks are, for me, the ones that stand out. There are probably other moments, but as you can imagine, when playing Resurgence mode, there's a lot of UAVs, especially if you kill one enemy, their teammates pop up on the minimap and so on. But this one here is an indication that he had prior knowledge of the enemies being there. Now, he did have some level of advanced UAV up prior to this moment. I'm not sure how close it was, but one thing's for sure. The way in which he's able to say, I think there are people up there, which it's in slow motion, but
They're gonna be right in here.
I think they're going to be right in here, right? So that one for me is the only indication of that moment, because from then on, when he goes into the building, he has tracker, he pushes up the stairs, following the footsteps, goes into the room and lasers the guy. So for me, I'd say the only indication of that one being wall hacks is in fact the call out saying that he thinks there are people in there. Now, this next clip for me, yes, there was a slight sound cue. However, he's able to line a shot up perfectly. Bear in mind, absolutely no one showing up on the minimap in this moment here. Right, he pushes across here. He has gunshots. Yeah. He turns, lines his crosshair up, and as he peeks, swaps guns. Look at that. His crosshair was right bang on an enemy. And it wasn't even the enemy who was shooting, by the way. It would have been the nearest enemy to him. There's already one downed here who he'd actually downed prior to this, whilst that was the only guy he could see, by the way. And then he starts tracking somebody who isn't making any sound. So let that sink in. If it's lining it up with the sound cue, because there's absolutely zero there, maybe it's the red dot on his compass at the top. However, lines it up perfectly with him. Could that be to do with the compass at the top? It's a possibility, but it lines up perfectly with the enemy's head. To me, that looks like either he's toggled aimbot on through the wall onto the enemy, or he's tracking that enemy through extra, third-party downloadable cheats. But again, he'd be able to mask that one by saying, oh, it's the compass at the top showing the red dots. Again, resurgence modes are very difficult to talk about wall hacks because of all the information that is actually provided. Now, we're going to move on to the next clip here, which is this one.
I just chased one guy around for my entire advanced. Tragic, actually.
Right, so we've seen that in full speed. We see it now. He's gone into that building, turning towards that guy who's behind the stairs, and he pops his UAV. Like, how did he know that guy was there? To be honest, he's walked in there with the intentions of turning to that left side whilst the storm's pushing him behind, right? He pops his UAV, but he's already tracking this guy. From the minute he comes into this building, he starts turning left, right? Turning left now. And then the enemy appears. So for me, that is a big sign of wall hacks again. and it can't be anything to do with the compass. There's a little red indicator there, but that's far too left for him to even use as an excuse. And he hasn't popped his UAV yet. It's only when he sees this guy, he's like, oh, pop that UAV. Too little, too late, if you ask me. So, I mean, how many other moments do you need to see to believe that Tctekk has been and is still up to no good whilst playing in Call of Duty Warzone games? This guy is literally tracking people through walls with no indication on the compass or the minimap or any sort of sound cues. But this guy is willing to just track and get away with it. Why? Because his fan base believe that he's legit. Same goes for Capture, and same goes for Nickstar, and same goes for so many of these other streamers. We saw recently in the Diaz Biffle video that I made here how different his aim is when he's not using his cheats. You can see the natural recoil, you can see the natural tracking, you can see his aim missing. Now, these are not things that happen on a daily basis for Biffle, and the same applies to Tctekk, Capture, Nickstar, and all the rest of them. If you did enjoy today's video, guys, smash that thumbs up. If you're new to the channel, subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss our future uploads. And also, I want to hear what you guys think of this in the comments below. So drop a comment down below. Let me know, do you believe Tctekk to be a cheater? Or have you got other thoughts on the matter? And also, guys, if you want to contact me about any streamer, no matter how big or small, you can hit me up on Twitter at BadBoy Beaman. And also, guys, one last thing before we go. So, guys, as you're aware, I'm partnered with Supreme CBD, who offer some absolutely amazing products. You've got these CBD cubes, which is something that I hadn't tried before. I tried multiple of their other gummies, but all it takes is like 2 or 3 of these, sometimes a little bit more, and they literally within 5 minutes calm your nerves. So a couple of minutes after I've eaten these, I will literally be sat here quite chilled out. They don't make you feel any way, but they will just calm that anxiety and that stress. So if you guys want to get your hands on some of these CBD cubes or any of their other edibles, go to the link in the description below and use code BBB40 at checkout to save 40%.